Hopefully the cells will come together this time. Damn it!
Where are we going, Doctor? We're going to ice forests on the planet Green, one of the nicest spots in the universe. Right. There, we passed the Tyree galaxy and we're steadily moving into Quokes galaxy.
Quokes?
Yes, it's a galaxy teeming with life unlike your own. I haven't been there for many centuries, but I used to visit it quite regularly 3.5 incarnations ago.
You what?
Oh shizzle, being trying to remain in a space-time loop. It's tearing tiles to pieces.
Can you do anything?
Setting her down. Whoop. Gotcha.
That's here we are, Doctor. Where the hell are we, Doctor?
It's planet Starbux. You see, many planets were once owned by Starbux. But once the company crashed, the government took control and blasted planet Starbux once owned. So all this vegetation is actually quite impossible. Especially just a bead floating through space.
What could have restored this planet, Doctor?
Whoever created that time-space loop.
I'm so sorry to report, but test subject 89 has died. Test subject shows it was due to oxygen dehydration.
No, where am I going wrong? What was the cause?
Possibly from the geo cells of the host carrier.
Blast!
What should I do with the body?
What did with the others, Kurf?
Right. I see.
See, time and space loops are commonly used by escaped convicts. It sort of just puts their ships into a different time zone. So everything else, the convicts would go into hibernation for years until their ship automatically lets them out of the time loop, by which time the people chasing them are either dead or don't care anymore.
Clever, isn't it? But it doesn't seem to suggest why we're on a planet full of a bunch of angry convicts, probably out for blood.
They may have gone by now. The energy beam we went through is the remaining radiation of what was a time loop. I'd say that these convicts have been awake for, well, 20 years? They may have probably scampered. Yes, a group of convicts wouldn't have spent 20 years terraforming a glass planet into this paradise. They want to move on. Something is going on here and I think it's time we found out what. Wait, don't move, Josh.
Why not, Doctor?
I found these two in the back entrance. The door was unlocked. They must have cracked it.
Very well. So I suppose I should ask you why you're on my planet.
Your planet, is it? It's an awfully big for such a small fellow like you. I judge from your dress, you're not a convict, are you?
How dare you?
It's okay, Kurf. This man can be rude if he wants. It won't get him anywhere.
Very well.
Anyway, I paid for this planet out of my own pocket. You'd best mind your tone.
In cash, was it? Over the counter? Didn't want anyone to trace you?
How'd you know that?
Intuition, Mr. Is it Mr.?
Yes, it's Mr. My name is Mr. Carrie Black.
And just tell me, Mr. Black, what are you doing on this rather cheap and isolated planet?
I'm running experiments into cloning the vegetation. I'm a scientist too, you see. It's being dumped into the area of fields across the sector. It's acting as some sort of super vegetation.
Bet you will offer fruit.
Here, try this apple. Tastes different, doesn't it?
This apple tastes like meat.
Yes, the cloning fluid creates a mutation, a sort of plant that looks like a fruit. But it's actually human life.
It's not that bad. My vulgar musical Bavarians of Insecticon 5 are much worse. Anyway, I'm a kind of doctor, so perhaps I could help you with your cloning experiments.
I strongly advise against that.
Not at all, Kurf. The doctor here is safe to proceed.
But, Mr. Black...
Enough, Kurf. Doctor, here's my miniscope. Go on.
Interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. There are human cells dividing and cloning into separate parts. Nice and neat, but they seem to be absorbed by alien cells. They're not only helping the cells divide, but are gradually taking control.
That's right. It's a process that both helps and harms our operation.
You mean, say... Dr. Black, is it me or a little bit psychic?
What on earth do you mean?
Your eyes. Do they ever get a burning sensation, and do objects occasionally move for themselves?
Yes, it's been like that since I was a boy.
There you go. You've got the TK gene. It allows you to access the subconscious parts of your mind, generating psychic energy. It's quite a handy little skill, highly priced elsewhere in the world.
Right. Well, now that revelation is out of the way, what do you think of my work?
Don't get me wrong, Carrie, it is grand, but it's a bit wrong.
Excuse me?
The alien cells you've introduced will eventually transform the clone into a new species entirely. What form of alien do these come from anyhow?
Just a partner who works with Mr. Black.
They are known as the Mekkons. Bartok, what's the meaning of this?
I am Overton Bartok, caretaker of the mighty Mekkond war.
Bartok?
You identify as an enemy by the law and order of the planet Mekkond. You are executed here and now.
Bartok, no!
You killed the doctor!
Why did you do it, Bartok?
I had to. You raised it as an enemy, so Captain Mark.
Never mind about that. Dispose of the body.
Very well.
No!
We can't just leave the body here.
Right. Josh, take care of the doctor's body. Send his respects and such.
Well, goodbye, Doctor. I can't believe I'm doing this. Pitiful Doctor, but the best I can do for you.
It's the last machinery I can supply you. Your clone should stabilize and become living humanoids.
But there's something wrong. Something the doctor said. It stated that these Mekkond genes you've introduced are absorbing the clone's genetic frame. He said that these clones would just become Mekkons.
He is lying. He is an enemy.
But he seems very clever.
Nonsense. This new machinery should eliminate all ill effects.
I suppose.
Josh has buried the doctor in the gardens. The community are very worried.
Go and deal with them, Kurf. Make sure that everyone is calm during this time.
Yes, Mr. Black.
Sure seems getting you strange clothes.
Oh, there you are, Carrie.
Josh, have you seen Kurf?
No.
How odd.
What do you know of this doctor?
He's an alien to you and me. He's a Time Lord.
I have no record of Time Lords. His body must be dug up, and I must accept him for my people.
No, you're not!
Oi, Bartok, leave him alone!
But I killed you, Doctor. You were destroyed.
Well, when I absorbed the DNA, it tapped into the psychic network. You see, all Mekkons are linked telepathically by the Mekkond Lords, their gods. I learned a few things.
Such as?
That the Mekkons came from the planet Mekk, and during some big war, aliens dumped chemical weapons on their planet. The locals were infected, dying in anguish, so the Mekkons split up.
Dear God.
Half of them stayed behind to die, while the others escaped into outer space, looking for a cure. They worked for years, but they could not cure their disease, instead they stumbled on something else.
We cured death.
They what?
Just what he said. They found the cure to death itself. They became immortal and indestructible, but it came at a price.
What?
To cure the disease, the Mekkons put themselves into one entity, then went into hibernation, putting their arcs in time loop, dropping out from the systems.
I know my own origins, Doctor, but what I want to know is, how did you survive?
I absorbed your DNA, remember, which means I also absorbed your immortality. So for a short time I was immortal, until I learned what poison it was. When I found that out, I launched it from my system. That was hard enough, it's a very virulent disease.
But what happens now?
I also found out Mekkond society is split into 4 castes. The medics, the warriors, the arbiters, and the lords. And this fellow here is...
Brigade Arbiter Bartok.
Yes, the arbiters are religious fanatics, doing their lord's will, no matter who it harms.
20 years ago, me and my brothers crashed onto this planet. The crash destroyed the revival equipment. When I woke up, my brothers were trapped in hypersleep and were essentially dead. The cargo we were carrying was useless as the ship was too damaged to activate it. So I made a plan. I located Carrie out here doing his cloning experiments and discovered he was telepathic. I used parts of my own armor and other equipment from the ship to help him along with his cloning and inputted Mekkond cells into the clone embryos, so that when they are grown, I will have an unlimited supply of Mekkons to command. I am to place Carrie inside a mirror chamber, a device which will extract and increase his powers to a massive size, which I will use to activate my cargo.
You've tricked me!
What's the cargo?
A Mekkon Lord.
Kurf, get in here! Hurry!
Fourth caste of Mekkon society, beings of pure psychic energy, which thought themselves into existence at the dawn of the universe. The Mekkons found them and now worship them as gods.
Yes, my god shall be awoken, and he shall have an army of hybrid Mekkon clones waiting for him. You cannot imagine the awesome power of such a creature, who has the capacity to take our armies from one world to another through the force of will!
Stop him! He's activating the clones!
Mr. Black,
Stop him!
Yes, I shall activate an army of 5,000 Mekkons! All indestructible! All perfect!
stop!
Doctor, help!
Doctor! Oh, not again.
Get off me! Don't do this! Arr!
will now be prepared. Begin.
It's starting. Brigade Ramrock Clone 1. I am Narzok Clone 2.
Oh, that done it! I am all powerful! And I shall grant you a death, my useful friend.
Actually, mate, you've lost.
Doctor? How? You Time Lord vermin? How many times must you die?
13, actually, but that's a different story. You see, knowing Carrie is telepathic, and as a Time Lord, I am very telepathic. I stored my mind in here, so I can get in here. I have a power equal to your god, but a bit more, because I know your one weakness. Your kind may be immune to all forms of death, but you have one weakness. Tannic acid is a common ingredient in tea, and I myself love a cup of tea. Now, all I have to do is this. Ah, a mug. And now all I must do is transport this to your Mekkond Lord. Voila.
Well, this has been quite a mess. I suppose you and Josh will be going now in this magnificent machine.
Yes, that's in your Mekkond problem, my friend. You should count yourself lucky. A single cell of Mekkond virus can wipe out an entire species. None will have survived. Mekkond Lord created a psychic whirlpool, which fried the mind of every Mekkon on this planet.
Alright, I see.
A similar technique was apparently used on Earth during the 1891, led by a similar law called the Grand Medic.
Well, between you and I think I'll have this planet re-glassed just to make certain.
Wise choice. I'll just go to Josh.
I should go too, Doctor. Ah, Josh, there you are. The doctor is just in there. Goodbye.
Shall I take a trip back to planet Earth, Josh?
I think so, Doctor. That would be brilliant.
Bigger on the inside?
That's right, Kurf. It was quite odd in there.
So who were they?
I don't think they wanted us to know, but the doctor said that the Mekkons on the crash site would all be dead without their Mekkond Lord. We must take care of those bodies.
Actually, sir, I've got something to show you.
My God, they're still alive.
Yes, Mr. Black. One of the scientists has put it down to their cryogenic state being the root cause of their survival.
What's the advised course of action?
Well, I've done some research, Mr. Black.
Research? On the Mekkons?
No, the doctor. Let me show you. Like he said, he's a Time Lord. He can regenerate when killed and has had a number of faces. And judging by our internal scans, he has many faces to come.
But why is this important?
It's important because Brigade Sergeant Bartok has met the Doctor before, in the year 1594, on Earth.
But neither of them mentioned it.
I don't quite know how this works, but obviously time travel is at play here. But I'd like to make a suggestion, if that is permitted.
Of course, I would appreciate your counsel.
I suggest that we keep these Mekkons in cryosleep and we find a way to disconnect them from their Mekkond lord.
Yes, I agree, Kurf. Very good. We shall do that.